I'm going to go over PayPal, AMT, and Estee Lauder and give you some price targets for Monday. Hi everyone, it's Dow on the Dow. First up is PayPal. We ended the week at $58.94. The day's low, $57.40. The day's high, $59.74. This is where we ended right here, very close to the middle of the trend. Resistance takes us to 59.28. Above that, at 2 standard deviations and another level of resistance and possible take profit area, $60.71. Above that, 61.40 and 62.13 to the south side at -2 standard deviations and support from where we are, 57.74. If we hit that, I will anticipate a bounce as people buy the dip. Another possible dip area would be 57.05 and 56.33. Now, I talked about this stock on Thursday and mentioned this gap is still in play. It has not closed out as of Friday. And that starts at 55.45, closes out at roughly 54.41. And beware of the other gap to the south side here at $53.08 and closes out at roughly 51.70. We are not in this channel, not in this zone, but something to be aware of and a possible area to short into. Now, on Thursday, when I last talked about this, I want to fix this very quickly. When I talked about this on Thursday, we were at $58.48 and we gapped up. I talked about this gap that closes out at roughly 59.48, and I will extend it because we hit it right there on Friday. And so this gap at 59.48 is no longer in play. We are done with that. We did not make it up to 2 standard deviations, fell apart through here, and that was an increase of roughly 2% for the day. Not too bad for one day. And now the RSI is turning up on the 5-minute time frame. And looking left, note the sell-off here at resistance, the buy-in at support. This is all resistance up here, and we grinded sideways and consolidated a little bit, but we are at resistance. And what happens at resistance? People take their profits and they run, and boom, fell down all the way down to support. You can use a VWAP, you can use the grid, you can use your bot signals. There are many levels in between to get from -2 to the middle of the trend to 2 standard deviations. But if I'm down here and I want to play very conservatively, you can just play from down all along this line all the way to the middle of the line and get out. But I like to ride it a little longer, roll the dice, play from here to about here. And anytime we go outside of 2 standard deviations, that is an outlier. I will anticipate a sell-off if we are on the upside and a bounce to the upside at support. The next one I want to go over is AMT. We ended the day at 206.45, down more than 2%. The day's low, 204.05. The day's high, 210.29. Here's a look at how we did for the week, down nearly 1%. For the month, up 11%. A buy signal, strong buy from the analysts rating the 1-year price target, $216. So that's more than 4.5% from where we are. Resistance takes us to 207.28. You can also mark it out here. So I anticipate price to grind out along here or go down through here, but this is resistance, and people who bought down here will be selling off. If we make it to the next leg up, there's a gap that forms to the upside at 210.06, closes out at 210.60. Another level of resistance, 211.42. Sometimes when the gap is very close to resistance, I will anticipate a sell-off at the gap play because people are taking their profits and they run. So I give it a little bit of room and just sell out over here. But if I want to live on the edge here, take it all the way to 3 standard deviations, 213.45, and don't hold your breath for a move to 4 standard deviations in one day, but that'd be great if we did, 215.47. To the south side, a gap forms to the south side at 204.49, closes out at -2 standard deviations. I will anticipate a bounce at this area, 203.26. Even lower takes us to 201.18 and 199.18. The RSI is going sideways at 60. A little bit of room to the upside before the RSI is overbought and will fall back down. Looking left on the RSI, note the level of 70 and above. What happens? You can anticipate selling off and then a bounce up and then a sell off and then a bounce up. And then looking left here, this is support and a bounce to resistance here, went to the sideways a little bit and then made it through, but couldn't reach this level and then started to slide down and then all the way back down to support. We started to fill this gap, but we are not there. So there is some downside ahead of us. The next stock I want to go over is Estee Lauder. This again is price targets for Monday. This is a very small window here that I'm looking at. If you want to go big picture, take this out to the daily, the monthly, the weekly. All right, we ended the week at 133.77, down more than 1.5%. The day's range, 133.51 to 136.04. The 1 year price target, I want to show you the performance though really quick, up more than 4.5% for the month, almost 18%. So congrats there if you made some money. We've already met the 1 year price target of 129.19. Then I roll over to tip ranks and I find out what they say. Okay, so we ended right here to the north side, 134.69 resistance, take profit area. The next target, oops, Control Z there. I looked at it already on tip ranks, as you can see, but 2 standard deviations, 136.92. Tip ranks thinks we can get to 137.14. A gap forms to the upside, 137.65. 138.01 closes out at 138.91 and another take profit area. And I would definitely be getting out if we reach this level in one day, 139.12. That is, of course, if I am just day trading or doing a quick swing from this area and up to this area. To the south side, 132.45. The gap closes out at 132.24, 131.35, and 130.25. All right, I'm going to leave you with TradeIdeas.com. Let's see if I can get it going. Oh, it's not working for me. All right, that does it for me. I'm going to end it right here. Take it back to Estee Lauder. Thank you so much for watching.